Project 2, we've made it. So, welcome back to Live Action Leatherworks. We're happy to have you, and we're going to get jumping in straight away to our gun belt. So this is for a personal character of mine for a LARP that I'm doing here in the Southeast, and this is going to be a really fun, kind of intricate thing. We're going to be using a Nerf Maverick for the holster, and for the belt itself, we're going to be doing lots of really cool, like Sheridan style tooling and really cool stuff like that. Another thing we're going to try for this series is I've got a camera here on my face, as well as a camera going to be pointing at the workstation itself, and so we'll be able to jump back and forth, so I can kind of get a little more FaceTime with you guys as I'm talking about different things. So, looking here, we've got this really nice piece of leather. I've held on to this piece, almost half a year, 7 months maybe, something like that, and I just haven't found a really good use for it yet. I've been kind of hesitant to use it because it's a really, really nice piece. Not much marring to it. You know, you can probably see that the texture is even across the board. It's about an 8-ounce piece of leather, and I finally found the project that I want to use it on, and it's this gun belt here. All right, so with this belt, obviously we've talked about in our last video series, you know, we could use the strap cutter, set it to the 3 inches, which is what this belt is, and, you know, cut it out. Obviously we've got this section here, which is where the actual holster is going to get tied into, and yeah, I could use the strap cutter, get to that point, stop, and, you know, kind of cut around it and keep going, but I decided I'm just going to use the template and just go straight, you know, copy it that way. As well as we've got the holster here, and we're going to trace that out. The good thing is with this leather, there's not any kind of, you know, since there's no texture to it, I can kind of get away with doing just about, you know, any direction I want. But again, we want to make sure that when we're tracing the pattern, we want to save as, you know, don't be too crazy with where we put things. We want to be economical with where we place everything. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I'm going to trace this out. I forgot one thing. I want to do this on the back. I don't want to do this on the front, especially this really nice leather here. I'm going to try to get it as close to this edge as possible, so I'm not losing too much out of it. Unfortunately, I don't have full width here, so we'll just have to double check everything. Okay. That completes it. There's our pattern all drawn out. So I did have to end up using my big ruler here for the belt piece. This thing was just way too big kind of for my workspace here on the corner of my table. So I just had to, instead of being able to use the template, just measure it all out and make sure everything was 3 inches across the way, but not that much different than using the template. For those wondering, what this is this material here. This is underlayment. If you haven't seen my baby armor making video, I kind of talk about it there, but to go over it again, it's essentially the material that goes between your hardwood flooring and the foundation. I believe that's what it goes on top of. But anyway, it goes in between that. It's kind of a sound dampening material, but it's phenomenal for patterns in my experience. I'm able to completely make the belt. If you look at I posted on Instagram, my Instagram account, to show what it looks like as I'm building the template and what I can do with it. I can put it on, test it, make sure everything works, and once I'm comfortable with that process, then I'll jump into leather. It's kind of my muslin, if you will, to kind of make a tailoring, analogy there. So I'm telling you, man, underlayment, can't go wrong with it. So I've got now everything nice and marked out, which means we're ready to then jump over and cutting all this out of the leather. I've got a couple more pieces here, basically all the different straps. This is the tongue. This is a strap that's going to go around my leg where the holster is. This is also for the buckle. And we've got a really cool buckle that I can't wait to put on this thing. So we just have to mark those things out. This may actually end up being a thinner piece of leather I may use. I probably won't use this 8 ounce for it. And just a couple of other little things like that. So we won't record me marking those out. But we'll jump over to cutting out the leather. That'll be our next video. And there I'll just kind of talk about my philosophy on cutting leather. All right, we'll see you then.